Okay, so in today's lesson we're going to have a look at the basic Photoshop interface, and we're going to have a quick look at some gesture sketching. So the first thing I'd like you to do is just go along to this top bar up here, and yours will look slightly different because you've got a different version of Photoshop, but it's basically the same layout. If you go to this file drop down menu at the top there and click new, and then you should get this like dialog box pop up here, and if you just type in gesture sketch as your file name there, and where it says preset, if you click on default Photoshop size, and it should bring this up here. We're going to set your resolution to about 300 pixels, and your colour mode we'll set to 16-bit. Make sure it's RGB, because if you have it on some of these other options, your colour might not work appropriately. This background contents drop down box, we'll set that to white for now. Usually I'd set it to transparent, but for today we'll set it to white. And if you click OK, and that should bring up a new canvas. So this is what we call a canvas here. Much the same as in art, where you can paint onto here. Along the top here you've got options for your tools. These are your tools just down here on this bar along the side, and each one of these has different properties. Today we're just going to be focusing on this tool here, the brush tool. If you click and hold on to that, you can see you've got other options for that. We're just going to use this one here. And you've got this eraser tool here. Now we're going to try to avoid using that today, but it's there if we need it. Right at the bottom here you've got a colour palette, and if you click on that, so if you click in the centre somewhere, you can change your colour by just dragging anywhere within that box there, or moving this little slider up and down. But we're going to set it right down to black, so everything here should be 0. We'll click OK. Along the top here, so make sure we're on brush, you've got your brush options. This opacity here takes down the transparency of your brush, so we need that really to be at 100%. This little drop down menu here next to the brush, so you've got your brush there, but we'll click on this one here, gives you lots of different weights for your brushes, and hardness and softness of your brushes as well, so you can change those. What we'd like to do really is set our brush to around about 2 pixels, so if you set it to that, you can type in the value there if you want to, so you could type it like that. We'll make it 2, because that's quite a nice size for pencil drawing. I just press Ctrl Z to undo that there. Down in this little box in the corner here, you've got your layers, and that's really important in Photoshop because you can layer up your images, and as you get into your concept designing, you'll soon start to see that you can add shading and tone to your images as you digitally paint. So to create a new layer, we'll click on this little box that looks a bit like a post-it note there, and that will bring up a new layer here. If you haven't got access to that box, you can go up to layer, my mouse will let me, and go new layer, like that. If you can't see everything that I can see on the screen here, just make sure if you go to window, you can arrange it, arrange your workspace to essentials, or it'll say default or something like that, so that you can see everything kind of as I can see it here. As I say, yours will be slightly different because this is a little bit more of a modern version than your Photoshop. So we're going to have a go at doing some gesture drawing. Now it's quite difficult to get used to this graphics tablet that you're using, So it's really a chance for you to get to use some of the interface here and get used to where everything is, but also get used to using the tablet as well. Now, gesture sketching is a way of sketching out movements for your characters. So you can see I've kind of done some quick rough drawings here. They're not perfect by any means, so I'm sure you guys will do a much better job than me, but it's just a quick way of bashing out a concept, really. So we'll have a go at that, and to do that we're not going to erase, we're going to try and just use the brush tool. So we'll start off by drawing a head, so if you draw some kind of oval shape there, and then we're going to kind of bring kind of a body round like this and start to sketch out some kind of simple leg-like features. You can see it's slowly coming together, really quickly, really roughly kind of sketching out a shape. We're kind of sketch out a really basic sword and then kind of go over our sketch. Kind of move the head up a little bit as well. So you can see it's not really good at the moment, but it really is about drawing quickly, and drawing some kind of pose. And like I say, you kind of work on it until you get it right, kind of thing. So it doesn't look very good at the moment. But it's not really supposed to at this stage. It's more just about kind of positioning and getting used to the tablet. So as you can see, it's not easy to use a tablet. So we've got kind of a very basic sketch of a possible character looking over his shoulder, like that. I'll use the rubber tool here to get rid of the sword. So I'd like you to have a go at just kind of doing basic sketches like that. Lots of different poses. So if you could try doing that. Now, I've done that one. We've got a layer here. I'd like to shrink that down. So if you go to Edit, Free Transform, it should pop up with this kind of cage around your object. And then you can shrink it down and reposition it anywhere by dragging it. So you click and drag on the edge there to size it, drag it around anywhere, and double click when you're happy. So we'll just leave it there for now. And we're going to have a go at another one. So if you click on another layer, and then you can start drawing another one and do the same. So have a go at just practicing your gesture sketches. So practicing kind of really quick sketching out, almost like a stick figure, but sketching out and just going over your characters. So here's some that I did earlier. Like I said, they're not particularly very good, but you can kind of get a general gist of body shape, and that's what I'd like you to have a go at doing. Okay, so that's lesson 1 for today. I'd like you to try and come up with a few gesture sketches for the rest of the lesson. Get used to the interface, get to know how to use the rubber tool, change your brushes on the rubber tool or razor tool. Get used to changing your brushes here and have a little play with it. Get used to your layers down here as well. And then you've got your free transform as well. So have a little go at that. So there's a few places that I've introduced you to, and we're really starting off at the bottom here. Over the next few weeks you'll have a chance to advance your skills. Okay, thank you very much.